episode, we got to meet the Beast, which is her cutting off her hand and then us falling into our trap, and we died. So now we're going to reload and not do that. We're going to close the door behind us.
You close the door behind you. Almost magically, its locks immediately click into place. Maybe they'll open if you finish the job.
I'm so excited for the full release of this, whenever this comes out. I'll wait.
Do you want to play a waiting game? I've been down here a long, long time. I'm very good at waiting.
You do your best to patiently wait her out. But eventually, exhaustion starts to set in.
And then she's gonna kill us, yeah.
Come on, wake up. We can't fall asleep down here.
Venture into the shadows. Yeah.
You step into the shadows. Too late.
Yeah. Same thing as last time. She's gonna rip us to pieces.
The ferocity.
Yeah. Kind of figured. We'll just keep waiting. Eventually, we're gonna fall asleep.
Wait for as long as you can, pushing yourself to stay awake and stay vigilant. But you can't outwait someone who's been waiting for as long as she remembers. You barely even realize that you've started to drift off.
Yeah.
Pain tears you from your sleep. The princess is upon you, ripping into your flesh, unnaturally sharp teeth and claws severing arteries and digging into organs. There's nothing to be done. You're already half gone. It can't just end like this.
And that is it. That is how that one ends. We will not be doing this. And we will reload. We're going to lock around the base.
I know you think this is some kind of fair compromise, but it isn't. No one wins here. It's a chance we'll have to take. We can make this work if we just stay here and keep watch. No one has to die.
Where are you going? You can't just leave me here.
You turn your back to the princess and make your way back to the stairs.
Fine, turn your back on me. But it won't be long before I slip these chains. And once I'm out of here...
Slip these chains? Either way. It's never too late to do the right thing. Now hurry.
Hurry.
You slip.
Yeah, arm's gone. Okay, kind of figured. So we'll do this again. We'll lock her in the basement.
Where?
Slip either way. It'll be the death of all. Okay.
And she's gonna...
You put... Where is she?
Yeah. So basically, these lead into the other endings. I had a feeling after we're like, oh, we're gonna leave. Now we'll just...
You can't be serious.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is...
Thank you. Thank you. You won't regret this, I promise.
We're gonna die.
You're making a huge
We're gonna die.
No. I think you're doing the right thing.
No, we're dead.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
No.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the camp.
And if there's a key, do you have any other ideas? I'm gonna check upstairs. Maybe there's keys lying there. I can at least find something to break you free. Okay. If there's no key, do you have any other ideas?
Maybe there's some way to break the chains?
Yeah. You look so evil.
Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance.
Yeah.
If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free.
Hey, you only cut off her hand. That should be enough.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
Try the door.
You try the door.
Yeah.
It's locked from the outside. Your shouts and pleas are
Yeah, we're dead.
silence.
He's gonna eat us.
You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
We don't have a knife.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
Yeah.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
I don't like this.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
Yeah.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her
Yeah.
arm with the determination
Oh.
of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now.
Do we grab
We
it?
could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
Yeah, I got a feeling we're dead either way. Save the princess, slay the princess.
Without hesitation, you bring the blade down and plunge it into the princess's back. Finally. The wound drives her to the ground.
I should have saved her. Ah!
There's no going back now. I'm with you to the end.
You bastard. Were you lying to me this whole time?
Aww.
The princess pushes away from you, the motion ripping the blade from her back. Wounded, but still alive, she crouches on all fours in the corner of the room and meets your eyes with the ferocity of a cornered predator.
Aw. She's ripped her arm off, isn't she?
You've made a terrible enemy, and there's nothing in the world that can possibly save you from me.
Do you hear
Aww.
the conviction in her voice? Do you see that razor sharpness in her gaze? I don't think she's bluffing. I thought we had the upper hand, but it's as if she's barely even threatened by us. It's an act. She's wounded and unarmed. There's nothing she can do to hurt you.
Oh,
I'm not so sure.
I'm not so sure.
Don't waver now.
Aww.
As you ready your blade to deliver a lethal blow, she lunges at your legs with the same animal ferocity she used to tear at her arm.
Do we even have a chance?
Your knife cuts into her again and again as you're tackled to the ground, your body racked with pain as she rips into you with tooth and claw.
We can lead to the beast ending again.
Forget about trying to rescue her. This is about survival now. Give her everything you've got.
I think we just die. Slay the princess.
Though your nerves are seizing with pain, you know you've done your fair share of damage as well, your blade having left deep gashes in the princess's back.
Jesus Christ.
You seize a moment of hesitation to throw her off of you and shakily push yourself back to your knees. We can still turn this around.
Give up. Finish the job, Bruce.
You steel your resolve and take
There's no
another
other
step
choice.
closer to the princess. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can still make sure that she won't make it out of here either.
Is this lead to the other ending?
Excuse me? What's this about not making it out of here alive? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone in this room is still standing. Don't act so surprised.
I think it's looping.
Can you not feel all those gashes and holes pulling you apart? If the princess doesn't do you in here, blood loss is certain to finish the job.
Yeah.
You take another step forward, and the princess lunges towards you.
You're still a beast, though.
The two of you enter one last exchange, a flurry of blade and claw and fleshy ribbons, and then you stop. Neither you nor Princess able to go any further. You collapse on the ground, and the Princess collapses beside you. Blood pools around you both, and you watch each other fade away.
After all this time alone, I thought I'd finally found a friend, but you were just another monster, weren't you?
Silence as the room starts to get fuzzy around you. You've paid a terrible price, but you've saved us all. It's over.
Aww.
If you think this is it, you're sorely mistaken. One way or another, I'll make sure you pay for this.
I'm gonna rescue her
There
next.
is that razor-sharp look in her eyes and that terrifying conviction in her words. But you don't have the time left to worry about such things. Everything goes black, and you die.
The witch. This is new. So she's a beast.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Oh man. But I already slipped. I've already got her. Why am I here? Does she also kill me, but proceed to the cabin, turn around? Okay. Wait. Is this.
A terrible sense of deja vu. No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Brilliant. We need to keep our cards close to our chest, and I'm not sure we can trust him.
Opportunist. That's a new one.
You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. Did I say I'm not sure we can trust him? Slip of the tongue. Bit of the old brain fog. I meant to say that we should probably head over to the cabin and slay that princess. We already know we can't trust her, so let's get on with the show.
Opportunist. Let's proceed to the cabin. Yeah, we're gonna try not to do a bunch of the flavor dialogue.
Warning. Before you
Or if this goes any further.
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Don't worry, you can trust us to get the job done.
Oh god. This is a very interesting idea. I want more of this.
The interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots.
What?
The walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if by accident, just happens to resemble a room. The floor is damp and earthy, and the only furniture of note is a slab of mud in the shape of a shelf.
I might not touch the mirror this time, because it hasn't did anything. It's just always the same dialogue.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Now we get to see the witch. I really wish there was more of this. Take the blade.
You take the blade from the shelf. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Well, if we're grabbing a weapon, we should probably keep it hidden behind our backs. She doesn't have to know we have it.
True. Why haven't you done that the entire time? Just hide it on me.
That's not actually a bad idea.
Yeah, just hide it. Approach the mirror. No, they ignore the mirror because it's the same dialogue.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below. The ceiling is thick with roots that hang like locks of tangled hair. The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. It shines in the darkness like some kind of massive maw, waiting to swallow you up into the earth.
Such a
Such
a good game.
dirt and copper. It's thick and wet, as if your lungs are being coated in mud with each intake of breath. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
True.
Her voice skitters up from below.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs.
Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably won't bite.
I'm not nasty.
But you are. You're a wretched little thing. I recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path. I know who you are, and I remember what you've done.
Aw.
She must have you confused with someone else. She seems friendly enough. Maybe we can talk our way out of this whole situation. You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free and end the world. There's no reasoning with what she is. Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any big decisions?
I
Do
wonder.
you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk? You need to stop lingering. Your task is to slay the princess, not endlessly debate about what to do with
With the princess.
Fine, fine. You're the boss.
Is he? What's she look like?
Thank you. You descend the basement steps, entering the dark room below. A fire crackles in the center of the room, casting unsettling shadows across the dirt walls. The princess crouches on the other side.
And there you are. One hand tucked away behind your back, gripping that sharp, sharp blade, no doubt.
That's no fair. How would she know that?
So, we've dropped the pretenses. Good.
I like her a lot. Can we talk? I'm so interested. Finish the demo witch. Okay, we're gonna do this. I'm going to save the princess.
Fine.
Fine.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place.
Would it be better to cut off her hand?
Into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal.
Yeah, she's not right. Monster.
No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
I'm gonna die. Reach the locked door. She's gonna kill me while I'm back.
We won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No.
I can't.
just let her escape into the world.
Aw.
As the princess approaches the bottom stair,
Ah.
your body steps forward and raises the blade.
No!
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
Slay the princess.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward,
Ah.
the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here.
You're gonna get us
alive.
killed. Slay the princess.
The
Resist.
blade. Move the blade. As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into
Aww.
your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. aren't dead yet.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
Okay, trust the narrator.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Oh, this is sad.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
Oh, I'm so bad for her.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks.
Aw.
It can't just end like this.
Oh, but it does.
Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
She made a friend, the Damsel. This is the one that I wanted to see. You gonna be evil? We say...
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Wait, what are you doing? Oh, you're for now. Unleash your tricks. Oh, okay. I'll be right back. I need to use the bathroom. When I get back, we'll continue where we left off. Give me one moment. And I returned. Hello. Okay, so here's my idea. We already saved it here, so we're good. We're gonna do this.
My tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We just met for the first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best
Maybe
to keep
it that way.
Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it.
Wow.
Our beloved? Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess. Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works. We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek.
I wonder how a Damsel's gonna be.
What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
Assume it's the truth. Why should I bother doing anything? Proceed to the cabin.
Those are two very different questions, but fine. I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving.
Yeah.
Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me.
Mm-hmm.
You died last time, which probably only happened because you
Didn't listen to me, which is true. You did kill us.
You were the one who did us in, villain. Well, not you in the literal sense, but you did everything you could to stop us from rescuing her. Oh, I wonder why. Maybe it's because the entire world was at stake. No lone princess is worth that price. I beg to differ.
Voice of the smitten.
I'm just going to take a deep breath and assume that whoever is making the decisions here has the common sense to ignore your protestations.
Protestations.
Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
We died, so we didn't see any consequences.
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely?
Yeah, so we've already heard the dialogue.
If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? She would never. She's a perfect angel that you cruelly imprisoned as part of some convoluted, dastardly scheme. Convoluted. I don't know how this premise could be any more simple. Princess bad, stop her, save everyone.
I'm gonna find a way to save her from the cabin. I'm going with him. I'm gonna find some way to save her from the cabin.
That's right, you can't stop all of us.
Except he can.
We're going to sweep her off her feet if it's the last thing anyone does.
She's a monster now, isn't she?
The sort of people you'd like to align yourself with. You're not at the cabin yet. You still have plenty of time to reflect on the situation. I just hope for all our sakes that you make the right call.
How do you get the GG ending? Let's talk about the princess.
Just be quick about it.
The reason she was even coming last time is because I let. Wait, I'm actually kind of curious. Hold on, how?
She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you.
Am I?
Maybe it's her beauty that threatens the world. Sure, it's her beauty. Why not? And before you ask, no, we can't just keep her down there. If you don't slay her, she's going to find a way out. It's unfortunate, I know, but it's just the way it is.
Okay.
People locked her in
the basement.
And I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods.
Don't
overcomplicate things.
If we have a locked way.
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail will just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult.
I don't think so.
Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to take me at my word.
She's going to remember that she killed us, right? That's all.
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from...
So we rescued her. And then she killed us because... Yeah.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her.
God.
Don't believe a word she says. We already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in.
We're gonna...
I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice. I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled.
This is the
Must
good
be
ending.
expressed. Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet.
Are you sure?
Pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead.
So now we're gonna go to the cab. I'm gonna save, and I'm not gonna grab the knife the first time. I think it doesn't matter.
The interior of the cabin is clean and
Very
elegant.
gothic.
Its stone walls draped in fine-threaded tapestries. A prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Explore, purchase the mirror, take the blade. Okay.
Very different.
Very different.
Is it? I can't say I was paying much attention to the scenery last time around. Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. Stop letting yourself get distracted.
Okay, so we're gonna just enter the basement without the knife, and then we'll get the knife later if we need it. It's gonna be like a very short ending, but
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight, but it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
what happens if we were to give in and kill her? I'm guessing.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice, it's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells already.
You're gonna be
Well,
like a
that's on top,
monster.
But you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation.
Oh, she is
Walk down
better.
the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall. My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment.
Damsel in
You
distress.
know she can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit.
Bro.
Your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
Bro.
I was so worried about you. You remember me, right?
Damsel in distress. Damsel. Oh, I really want to play the full game to see what happens afterwards. This is like the ending that I'm most interested in out of all of them.